In today's episode, robots have become self-aware and are blowing everything up. Collect supply drops and scavenge in Zero Survival. Then, a 9-year-old orphan girl and her guardian robot find a lost message from her father to save the world in Encodya. Towards the end, we'll team up with a pixie, grab a sword, and a fire mixtape in an attempt to travel back to our own dimension and Daybringer. You won't want to miss the end of the show either, where I'll have the developer of Daybringer calling in to answer our questions. All of this is coming up right now.
And here's your host, Jeff Porter.
Hey guys, welcome to Indie Gamer TV, the show where we help shine a spotlight on some of the finest independent game developers from all around the world. I'm your host, Jeff Porter. I wanted to ask you guys, have you seen those creepy robots from Boston Dynamics? You know, the ones that like walk weird and are like the beginning of Skynet? Well, imagine they've already taken over and you're lost in the forest scavenging for bags of chips and bullets. Yeah, there you go. You're worried now, aren't you? Oh, don't be. It's all right. This hasn't happened yet, but it might. Here's XERA Survival.
It's 2022. Artificial intelligence has become self-aware. Chaos reigns as nations struggle to protect their citizens from the humanoid threat. In this new world, there are no rules. The only imperative is survival. The war for the future of humanity has begun. XERA Survival, now available on Steam.
Well, that didn't seem terrifying at all. Moving past those creepy AI robots, XERA Survival's Steam page describes it as an action-focused looter-shooter designed from the ground up as a multiplayer, open-world PvP VE experience with a global gear stash that you can access from any server. Now, there might seem like a lot to take in, but once you get in game, it's a pretty straightforward enough game that almost anyone can enjoy. Once you start up the game, you can choose from one of the listed in-game servers to begin playing. But pay attention to the player count. If you're a bit of a newbie, remember this is a PvP VE game. So not only do you have to worry about those robots killing you, there's of course the 14-year-olds, waiting around outside the safe camp to unload their full magazine into you. So, and it's great too, with the in-game chat feature, you can then listen to their little giggly kids laugh as they pee all over themselves because hey, you started playing after they did, so it's your fault. Luckily though, there is a grouping system that allows you to party with other players. I would suggest trying a few different servers first and find one you like. Who knows, you might even make a friend. Once in game, you will venture out to search for supplies like weapons and ammo. There will be a lot of running at the beginning. I mean, a lot. Lots of running. Finally though, you will find food items spread around, as this is a survival game, so you need to watch your food and thirst levels. Though if you do begin to get too low and can't find a bag of chips or bottle of water, run back to the nearest safe camp, and every second inside you will receive boosts to your food and water levels. You can search old military blockades, campgrounds, cities, and even military bases for your gear, but be careful of robots and other players. Once you finally get your weapons though, it is time to kill. Head to the nearest city, as these are the easiest places to find robots, and begin leveling up as you blow up some of those worthless pieces up. The combat is a huge plus for Zero Survival, as the weapons and aim work really well. Almost too well. You place your cursor over something and you'll shoot it, even from very far distances. Begin piling up scrap metal and collecting resources from the fallen. Earn experience in-game from looting, participating in events, killing robots, and much more. Leveling up unlocks enhanced skills, for example, inflicting more PvE damage or being harder to spot by robots. You can gain improved medical treatment abilities or even drone buffs. Oh yeah. Yeah, you can build a drone. Just collect the pieces you need, find the required recipe, and you're ready to go. Or open up new recipes for crafting and get increased stash size. Crafting, leveling, weapons, survival, dynamic weather, and a huge map are all great elements for gaming, and Zero Survival has them all. It's still in early access, but it's definitely worth the play. If you go to Steam by tomorrow, you can get a discount of 25%. That cuts it down to only $14.99. In Zero Survival, the fall has already begun, and robots have risen up. If you'd rather have the robots on your side though, perhaps this next game is more your style. Team up with Sam53 in this point-and-click adventure to finish your father's mission. To save the world. Sounds easy enough.
Neo Berlin 2062. Cyberspace has supplanted human connection. A little girl and her robot are on a mission that could change the world they live in. Are you ready to join them on a wonderful adventure? A classic point-and-click adventure tackling the themes of tomorrow. Incredible art, music, and sound design. Guest star voice actors for an immersive storyline. Talk with dozens of characters and solve hundreds of puzzles. Lead Tina and Sam through a journey to discover the essence of human nature. Join the journey to Encodya.
Encodya is a great-looking, fun aesthetic, comic booky game that just looks primed to steal a spotlight. Set in a dystopian cyberpunk world, Encodya is about the adventure of a lifetime for 9-year-old orphan Tina and her guardian robot, Sam53. After finding a letter left from her dad detailing her need to save the world from its grayness, her and Sam53 must make the jump through different realities, meeting odd robots and nasty humans. Through a lot of puzzle solving and unique dialogue, they may finally discover the true answer to what it means to be alive. Switch back and forth between controlling Tina and Sam53 to unlock new alternatives for dialogue and other actions, such as accessing robot-only kiosks, or even having a gentle talk with an old man in a restaurant.
Yes.
You can switch at any time, and the conversations you have are sure to make you laugh out loud. It is corny, sweet, funny, and can even be dramatic.
I'm programmed to handle traffic and prevent car accidents.
Perhaps one of the more fun aspects of Encodya is the self-referential and pop culture references made throughout. Like this fun example of referencing the developers themselves.
So what? We just have this dumbass developer.
I'm sorry they programmed you this way.
I'm sorry they programmed you to be with that human all your life.
Or those, funny callback to floppy disks.
Ancient storage devices. fine. You could get one for free.
Ah, good old 1.5 megabyte floppy disks. Yeah, you have a place to put that picture. The world of Encodya is beautifully created, and the fun graphics fit into it perfectly. The comic book style cinematics also translate to the actual gameplay, and provides a fun, exotic, futuristic feel to the universe of Encodya. Now this is what I've been waiting for all show. You ready for me to butcher this name? Encodya is developed by Nikola Piovesin and Chaos Monger Studio. I think I did all right. It's the first big game project for what is normally an award-winning film production company. And actually, this project is inspired by their short film, the award-winning Robot Will Protect You. You can check out the trailer for the film in the description below. Also below, you can sign up for their newsletter, where you can download the free playable demo right now. It gives great insight into what Encodya will be when it's completed, with its perfect voice acting, fun setting and story, and of course, a very lovable duo of protagonists. Point-and-click adventure games don't really get the respect I feel they deserve, but remain to have a very loyal fan base. If you still aren't sure if point-and-click adventure games are for you, I highly recommend you should give Encodya a chance. With its free demo, you have absolutely nothing to lose. Nothing to lose, just like our hero in our final game today, Daybringer. Fantasy, action role-playing, hip-hop. The list goes on for Daybringer. It's a beautiful combination of everything with an amazing soundtrack to pair with it. The all-hand-drawn world of Daybringer feels unique and is great to look at, with fun graphics, great animations, and a nice beat to bounce your head to. You won't want to quit playing. Developed by Dark Lab, the demo is available now, and with a name your own price tool. So, sure, you could go and download it for free, but why not toss in a few bucks to help a developer? You can find it over on itch.io and just search Daybringer, but just wait a second and stay here, because he's calling us and we're gonna talk after this. So. The music is what sets this apart from almost every other game in the genre. As you progress through the game, you will find mixtapes that unlock a song that begin playing as soon as you lay waste to enemies ahead of you. They are upbeat and catchy as hell. You'll be bobbing your head killing zombies in no time. We really need that soundtrack. So Dark Lab, can we get that soundtrack? Is it on Spotify? iTunes or something? I need that. Bump to that in my car anyways. So far all you've really heard about Daybringer is my weird obsession with the music, and while it is really, really great, what exactly is Daybringer, and is there a story? Well, of course there is. You are the Daybringer, stuck in purgatory fighting against the reflections of decay that exist in your world. That just went pretty deep, man. These reflections come in the form of zombies, floating brains, and special weapons that'll blow you up in a moment's notice. While you're not entirely sure how you got here, you're lucky, because you won't be alone, as you have a guide through your new dimension. Of course, it's a magical fairy. who can restore your health and provide shielding when you have accumulated enough life force from slaying enemies. This isn't just any one of those normal flying interdimensional fairies though. This one's a bit of a smart aleck and it's gonna give you a hard time throughout your adventure. As you progress, you'll fight through a beautiful hand-drawn levels. Daybringer is also a platformer, by the way, too. That's another thing it is. You'll be jumping across buildings, over holes, and up walls to get to your next objective. You also have to use your abilities to like dash in midair and do double jump off walls and stuff to achieve your goals, and it just adds another great level of depth to your playthrough. Also, watch out for cans of soda, or pop, however you say it, as these act as a sort of power-up to restore some health, which is always important when you're slaying zombies in new dimensions. Battling the undead is a key element in Daybringer. You have a few weapons to use, and you'll learn exciting combos as you progress. You begin with a magical sword that harvests the life force from defeated enemies. This is what allows you to use those abilities from the fairy. It is wide and sturdy, so along with slashing enemies into pieces, it also makes a great shield to block attacks off of. Though it won't hold forever, so just be aware of your situation. Your other weapon is your gun, that you can use in special little increments. Below your health bar is 2 magazines of bullets. You can fire your gun twice in a row with a quick burst of bullets, but then we'll have to wait for these to refill before firing again. Learn powerful combos and dish out punishment with your sword and gun. With these 2 tools by your side, you'll defeat your enemies and leave this purgatory to restore balance to the world. The RPG elements come into play as you meet a blind DJ known as the Spirit of Hip Hop. Gain new abilities when you spend your skill points with the blind DJ. Choose between different skill trees stemming from your attributes of attack, defense, and magic. You will gain a more custom approach to your gameplay as you choose your strengths. Daybringer is an exciting combination of platforming, RPG, hip-hop, and more that deserves recognition. From the gorgeous artwork to the great gameplay, it'll sit as one of the greats upon full release. And remember, this is just the demo version. There's more great things to come. Daybringer will have you head bopping while slaying zombies in no time. If you're convinced, because I know you are, you're here, you want to play, head over now and download the demo. You can use the link below. It's recommended to use a gamepad, but I use the keyboard just fine, so you should be good too. You got a gamepad? You got one too? Alright, well, use your gamepads then. But before you go download, let's head over and meet the developer, Sam. He's on the phone right now. Hey man, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going, man?
First question I got is, can you tell us anything more about our hero? And I know we don't know how we got in Purgatory, but is there any little thing you can tell us?
Well, he's essentially kind of like a kid. He's a kid who's stuck in purgatory, or interdimensional purgatory, so to speak. So it's kind of like almost like a Dark Soulsian type of universe where he's like the only really the only living creature left, him and his fairy companion. So his backstory is he's just a kid, kind of gets in trouble a little bit. He lives with his single mom, in an urban area, and not really have a great relationship with his mom, but that's going to kind of play into the story as well. So it'll unfold in certain ways around that.
Daybringer features really great artwork. Can you tell us a little bit about the process and how you guys came up with all of it?
Well, I work as an artist and as an illustration company. We do patent illustrations, and I work with another guy there, and he does a lot of comic book art. He's practiced a lot of comic book stuff. So really, that hand-drawn style comes from his experience in comic books. So it's not really something that was selected. It's just something that we fell into based on his style. So the process really is I kind of come up with the ideas and the concepts, and I'll sketch them out, and he'll take those and stylize them and turn them into his style so that it matches the game. And it actually turned out pretty nice to have like to be really unique, I think, from other games. But you know, I heard one guy was comparing it to some other game with a comic book style. I don't remember, but yeah, that's basically why we chose that art style.
All right. What were some of your inspirations behind Daybringer?
Yeah, so I was really so growing up, I think the first game me and my brother bought was Final Fantasy VII. So really inspired by that game. I know they're doing a remake, so I'm excited about that. But the large sword that he carries is kind of inspired by Final Fantasy VII, and some of the story elements will be too. For other parts of the game, it's hip hop, 90s hip hop. We're really inspired by the Wu-Tang Clan and kind of that urban 90s look. That's what we were going for there. As far as combat, looked at games like Dishwasher, Vampire Smile, Blood Rain Betrayal, and a little bit of Devil May Cry as far as the air combat goes. So just pulling stuff from all different directions. So the music is, I've probably sifted through hundreds of videos on YouTube, searching for the right music. So all the music is pretty much licensed by different artists. So there's different hip hop instrumental artists that I kind of communicate with, or I go to their website and just download their music and get like a one-time license. Not really sure that we can do an album for it. That's not something I've thought about, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to have something like that. A Daybringer album. I would have to contact each of the artists independently and see what they say. But you'll in the game you'll be able to play the songs that you collect on like a Walkman or something else like that. So they'll have replay value in the game.
All right, last question here. What does it mean to you to be an independent developer?
Well, I mean, it's something I've always wanted to do. So I'm 32 years old, and I've done a lot of other stuff, artwork, and I've done a few pieces of art for other games, but to do this is like something I've always wanted to do. So here I am doing it. I mean, it's kind of like my passion to just make an experience for someone and someone else can enjoy it. And it's a way for me to, express my artwork and let other people see it and to enjoy it that way. So I can get a lot in front of a lot of eyes that way.
All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this second episode of Indie Gamer TV. And if you didn't, I don't know what to tell you. It was pretty awesome. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at IndieGamerMag. And check back next week for another episode full of indie games, developer interviews. And as always, thank you for watching.